This is VIX swing in MultiCharts. We're going to take a look at this strategy. Here is the equity curve. It's a very nice equity curve with a low closed trade drawdown, but the open trade drawdown is what we're concerned about. This is a long only strategy, and you see that the closed trade drawdown has a max strategy drawdown of 15,000. That's actually open trade drawdown. So the closed trade drawdown is only less than 2,000. That means you hold on until it comes back, but intra-trade you can go through a 15,000 or 300 S&P point drawdown based on the past because it does not use a stop loss. Now here is the buy and hold return. I like this. You see what the drawdown is on a buy and hold return. 25,000. Say you're at 25,000, you go down here to 50,000. So that's $75,000 as far as a buy and hold drawdown on this. On the S&P, if you just bought and held it, you're looking at 75,000. So it still beats buy and hold, even though it has a $15,000 drawdown. We're going to show you how to use the money management algorithms to, I'm going to show you the setup to reduce the risk. The equity curve, we'll take a look at the equity curve and the drawdown as well. And so it will have a more defined setup. So take a look at the strategy. You want to set this up on 60-minute charts. You have data 1 is the E-mini S&P. I'm using TradeStation data in MultiCharts, so it's at ES. Going back to 11/1/1997, and the VIX data doesn't go back that far, so you don't really have to go back that far. You only have to go back as far as you have VIX data. We're using the default session that is set up for the ES, and 60-minute bars, 11/1/1997. Local time zone, you can't use exchange because the E-mini S&P and the VIX are in two different exchange time zones. The exchanges for those are two different time zones, so you have to use the local time zone. For VIX, we're using 1 day, and you see 1 day here, default session, and that is how to set up for the data. Now let's take a look at the study. You want to put this MM1 save Rev 7.0, and you see the indicator here at the bottom, and that will let the money management algorithm window here on the right read the data on the left and use that to determine when to trade. And the signal you're using is Capstone VIX swing, and here are the inputs. It's long only. We don't take shorts. Use short signals to exit longs. We do. Those are some of the inputs as well. And so that's the setup. Very, very easy setup for the base strategy. Very, very simple strategy. And you can take a look at that. And so what you want to do to set up the money management algorithm is create an @ES chart. I've clicked on the right window now, so we're looking at the window on the right, which has the money management algorithm. It uses 60 minutes, and the session is default again, which is based on the symbol. And if you're in a different time zone and you want to make sure that you match this, it's best to, easiest way to do it is to set your computer on Eastern Standard Time. So you see the time frames here. Here's the instrument. And so we're using TradeStation data. You may have another data feed. You can use any data feed that has 24-hour E-mini S&P data. And so that is the instrument setup. So we're going to format the study. There are no studies in this. We do have a signal. The signal we are using is MM1 equity curve algorithm Rev 7.0 to match the indicator on the left. It says MM1, and you want this one to be MM1 as well. And then here is the signal. We're going to go over the settings for the signal. At ES, it needs to be the symbol for the chart on the left side. The interval is 60 minutes. It needs to be for the interval for the symbol on the left side. You could change the information. If you change the information on the left, the symbol or the interval, it needs to change in these inputs on the right. For this strategy on the right, these two inputs. One contract limit entry, and then we're using the pinpoint entry algorithm and the buy the drawdown algorithm. So what this does, You see, you scroll down to the input, so the pinpoint entry loss amount is 350. So we don't get in a trade until the base strategy on the left is down by 350. And then we also don't trade until the strategy overall is in a $3,000 drawdown. So we wait for the strategy on the left to be in a $3,000 drawdown, and then on that particular trade we wait again for it to be in another 7-point loss. And so we're buffering drawdowns by buying dips, basically is what we're doing. We set the max daily entries to 1, true for one max daily entry, and that has to do with the 24-hour Eastern Time session. And we don't use an entry time or an exit time on this. You can if you want. We set the stop loss to 500. We set the profit target to 1,000. And we set everything else to false. Sync exit with master. No, we don't sync the exit with the master. And so those are the inputs. And I'm going to show you, that is how we set it up. Now I'm going to show you what the results are for this strategy that has a stop loss. We're going to look at the performance summary. These are hypothetical research-based results from the platform. And you see here, here is the performance summary, 54,000. The max strategy drawdown is 43.75. The max close to close drawdown is 3,500. So these are numbers that you can more easily live with versus the 15,000 number. Here is the equity curve. Nice equity curve most recently. There's a sideways period, and that's just with these settings. And so let's look at the trade analysis as well. 254 trades, $214 average trade profit using the money management algorithm. So we are using a $500 stop loss and holding positions. It does hold overnight and it does hold over the weekend, so it's possible to get stopped out at a larger number, but even though historically it does not show that. And again, it's long only. So these are the settings, and these are the performance for VIX swing. And I'm going to go into further detail now. If you're setting this strategy up, that's how you set it up, and the results you could see in your platform. Hypothetically speaking, you compare the numbers to make sure you have it set up correctly. And one of the things that you could do, it has not traded recently. It has not traded, the money management algorithm version has not traded because there hasn't been a drawdown of 3,000 on the base strategy, hypothetically speaking. And you see the equity curve. Well, we saw the equity curve. And this is just based on the closed trade, so you don't see this doesn't show the drawdown intra-trade, but there are some big intra-trade drawdowns since it does not have a stop loss. But there hasn't been one of 3,000 to get in on the money management algorithm version. So what you could do is you could format this signal and take this drawdown number down from 3,000 to 1,000, and let's see what happens here. In this type of market, it's low volatility, slow grind upward, and so you're just not seeing as many trades. And so here you go, you see some recent trades, a loss, and then 2 signals that hit their profit target. What does the overall performance look like most recently? Yeah, it's pretty good. The drawdown is a little greater, but you do get some trades. So 54, 425, about the same net profit. This is without slippage or commission. And here is the equity curve, closed trade to closed trade drawdown. The max strategy drawdown is 6,300, including open equity trades. But you do get trades, and so if you look at the periodical annual period analysis, 2017 is up 49.75 on 14 trades. So that is over $300 a trade, about $350 a trade in 2017. And so that is in sync with the current market so far this year. So it's a setting to potentially consider on your end if this market continues in a low grind higher, low volatility grind higher, that if you want to go ahead and get signals now, you could change that drawdown factor from 3,000 to 1,000, or experiment with different numbers to capture tighter market conditions. And so that is the update for this on how to make it trade more frequently, how to set up VIX swing on the E-mini S&P, as well as VIX swing money management algorithm in MultiCharts.